people about the city's recycling program. So we have information on recycling, organics recycling, curbside collection of textiles, shoes, home goods.
This event is a huge opportunity for us to connect with our city and our residents in a way that's not 911 related. We have the opportunity to share with them some amazing education on fire prevention, fire education, share some of the things that we do so that they know how we do it and when we do it. And really it's just a great way to connect with the kids and the adults that are so important to our business every day.
Has anyone ridden in an ambulance before? Oh, really?
And we want to show everyone just how easy CPR is to do. And all it takes is one person, just one person to start doing compressions on an unresponsive person to get hands-only CPR going. And the best part about hands-only CPR, everybody take your hand, I don't care what dominant hand it is, put it in the center of your chest. Feel the crease, that's your breastbone. Anybody you see that's unresponsive, that is not breathing, that is not responding to you, start doing hands-only CPR. Now, what do we want to do first? We want to make sure somebody calls 911, because 911 gets us, it gets police, it gets medics. Now, Chris here, my volunteer, has started doing CPR. Now, what she's going to do, we're going to get the pit crew mentality going, where she is the boss. She's going to scan the crowd, because inevitably something like this draws a crowd. And what are you going to do first? Get somebody to call 911. Try to find an AED. There's AEDs everywhere in the city now. The PulsePoint app is also going to show you where the most close AED is. And it's that simple. Now, what she's gonna probably do is she's gonna get tired after about a minute, minute and a half, and she's gonna look for somebody and say, has anybody learned hands-only CPR? Anybody? And chances are somebody in the crowd is going to come and take over. St. Louis Park is a full-time fire department. We have an average 5-minute response time. So make sure somebody calls 911, get hands-only CPR going, keep that blood circulating, and increase the chances of survivability for more and more people. So with that, please look at getting the PulsePoint app, or just see how easy it is to do. And the Red Cross app that we still have flyers in the apparatus bay, it's just hard, fast compressions, 100 per minute. Thank you, Chief.
At this time, I'm going to bring our mayor forward, Mayor Jake Spano, to talk a little bit about the meaning of this for the city.
Thanks, Chief. Okay, so everybody has phones, right? You all have them here. Usually when you're at a social event like this, you're talking to your neighbors, you're talking to your family, and everybody says like, put your phone away, put your phone away, put your phone. Yeah, well, guess what? Get out your phones right now. No, I'm serious, get out your phones right now. If you've got a phone right now, I want you to take it out. PulsePoint will help save lives. And basically, Assistant Chief John Wolf, this is his line, I stole it from him, but he says he stole it from somebody else. It's like Uber for CPR. You can load this app, it's available in the App Store and it's available on Google Play, and you will get push notifications when someone is having a cardiac incident and you're in the area. And so when you load this, I normally turn off my notifications, right? Because I don't like getting pushed messages from Yahoo News or what have you. Make sure your notifications are on, and make sure you allow it to access your location. And it will tell you when someone is having one of those events. Not only will it do that, but it will tell you the nearest AED. So for example, let's say right now somebody had a heart attack right here. I could open PulsePoint, it geolocates me, right? So there it knows exactly where I am. I push on the AED icon and it will tell me where the nearest AED is. That's an artificial external defibrillator, correct? Did I get that right? AED, right? So these are the paddles. Not only will it tell you kind of where it is, because we've all used map apps before where it's kind of like, yeah, no, it's not really there, it's kind of where it says it is. This one will tell you, for example, when I just open it up, and I clicked on the AED, it tells me, for example, that this one is located in the St. Louis Park Fire Station workout room number 1 located on the wall adjacent to the door. Like, it will tell you literally on the southeast wall, by the door, et cetera, et cetera. So it's really, really specific. Why is this important? This is important because every minute that passes that someone's having a cardiac incident, every minute that passes that they don't get help, their chances of surviving go down by 10%. 60 seconds means that they've got a 90% chance of survival. 2 minutes is 80, 70, 60, right? You can do the math. So it's critically important that we give people CPR, we call 911, we know where an external artificial defibrillator is, so that we can try and help save lives. So I would encourage you to download it. And the other thing that I would say is, when I downloaded this, I was over in St. Paul where I work, and the first message that popped up was, there's nothing in your area. Why? Because St. Louis Park is the first city in the state that's doing this work. So this isn't a Minneapolis thing, it's not a St. Paul thing, it's not an Edina thing. We hope that they get on board with it, but right now we're the first. So we want to encourage other cities to do it, and the way we can encourage other cities to do it is have more users of it. When they see the value of it and they see it saving people's lives, I think they're going to want to be in on the action too. So with that, I will turn it back over to the Chief. I just want to thank everybody, but like I said, download the PulsePoint app. It's a little red icon. It's like a heart with the little pinpoint drop in the middle of it. That's the one you're looking for. So, thanks everybody.
Thanks, and I'll just close by saying that, all of us know somebody or maybe have experienced in our own families the devastation of sudden cardiac arrest and the impact it has on a family to lose a loved one because we just simply couldn't get there in time or there was nothing we could do to help. So just imagine, if you will, how this improves the resiliency of our community if we can beginning by 1, 2, 3 or 4 people. Last year in 2016, there were 52 instances where this app would have been deployed in our city, 1 a week, where we would have potentially impacted the lives of a citizen in a positive way. And we know that all we have to do is just reach out, take control of that app, and then try to make a difference. So this is about survival as a community, it's a survival of a family, and how it's all about the community working together. So thank you for doing what you do, and thank you for your interest. And if you have questions, there'll be more information on the fire department's website under the PulsePoint tab to where you can. If you want to learn CPR, we'll start setting up meeting times for CPR training at the fire station, and there'll be a schedule in there for you to sign up for class if it's something you need help with. We'll be happy to walk you through that. So again, thank you, and we'll get ready to move on to the fire. So this is as close to fireworks as we get in the fire department. But this is kind of we call it a grand finale because it's an opportunity to live fire always generates and piques interest and gets people to think about their own safety and their homes and what fire behavior looks like and just how mean and angry fire can be. Because fire is mean, it's angry, and it has no concern or care about where it goes or who it hurts. And I think that's important to understand when you're thinking about planning safe escape routes in your house, working on fire prevention. Do you have working smoke alarms? Do your carbon monoxide detectors work? Have you removed all flammables from around your water heater? Do you have anything sitting on your stove or close to your stove that could catch on fire? These are all questions once you see fire that you should ask yourself because it's about your personal safety and the safety of your family. This demonstration that we're showing tonight, although it's about fire behavior, is really the most important message we have is about the effects, the benefits, if you will, about sprinklers, residential sprinklers. We see them in commercial buildings everywhere we go, but residential homes do not have sprinklers, but you can put them in your home at a very low cost. There's a lot of press, some of it negative, about the cost and how it's an undue need. And we don't need sprinklers in residential homes because we have smoke alarms. Today's homes under ordinary construction and lightweight wood construction in our new homes burn
faster and hotter than homes before. If you think about what's in our homes today, if you think back, for some of you in the crowd who have gray hair like I do, and you think back what was in your home when you were a child, you remember there was natural products, wood, cotton, organic materials. And then what happened? Well, the advent of Walmart and IKEA and places where they have plastic and glue and formaldehyde and all those synthetics which burn hotter and faster. They're basically fuel. They're basically fuel that are make up tables, chairs, sofas, that type of thing. So what this will do is show you the benefit of having a residential sprinkler and how a little water damage will far be much less than the impacts of fire. So we're going to light the fires off. Pay attention to the, and I'll talk through this as they go. I'd like to thank also Lindstrom Restoration. They're a company that we work through that's gone through a very stringent vetting process with our city for restoration and board up. When an incident happens, we count on them to deliver high quality service, and they support this event by helping us with this. So as we watch the fire grow, and keep an eye on the fire, and just listen to my voice here. So firefighters, one of the dangers of going into a burning building, obviously, is the fire, the effects of heat and the toxic gases and those things which are in the smoke on the firefighter. So they wear protective clothing. When you think about the firefighters going in, usually it's 2 or 3 firefighters heading into the burning building. If you think about what's on the firefighter, besides their uniform, they're wearing structural fire gear. So the coat and the bunker pants. Those 2 items, run about $2,500 a set. And so each firefighter has 2 sets so one can be washed while one's being worn. The SCBA on the back of the firefighter that they use for breathing, that runs about $3,500 to $5,000. The helmet's about $250. The boots are about $300. So just to get a firefighter ready to go into a burning building costs a lot of money. So there's an example, right? If this was your home, the sprinkler went off in about 15 seconds. We're now, how far are we into this? So we're now into this about a minute. The fire department is just now potentially being notified by someone that a smoke alarm is going off, but the fire continues to grow. It's going to be another 3.5 minutes for us to get there. By the time a call comes in through 911, and then we get into the truck, drive down the streets of St. Louis Park, and get to your house. By that time, this fire will have doubled in size. And it's no longer under control or controlled within the room of origin. Now it's catching drapes, ceiling, other components in the room. Maybe it's the carpet, or maybe it's moved through a doorway into another part of the building. So we're less, what are we now? So we're 2 minutes now into this call, 2 minutes since the fire started. And the fire department is just now getting the call, and we're boarding our truck so that we can be there in the next 2 to 2.5 minutes. So I want you to look at your watch and imagine what would happen in 2 more minutes if this was your home. And then I want you to look at the room on the right where the sprinklers were at, and then tell me why you wouldn't do that if you were building a house, or if you wanted to remodel your current home, or you wanted to retrofit your home with sprinklers. Because in my world, I'd much rather have what's on the right than what's on the left. And if I knew that the heat of that fire, which was close to 1,500 degrees, and the smoke and the toxic fumes that were in that were affecting or impacting and likely ending my life, I definitely would want the sprinklers in my home. So think about that as you
And I would ask that you consider reaching out to your legislators about this concept of residential sprinklers, because it saves lives. Just no different than a seat bag and a seat belt and an airbag. A smoke detector, a smoke alarm, in combination with a sprinkler system saves lives. And it will guarantee that you likely have the time it takes to get out of your home, and you have the ability to recover from the incident much more quickly. Pretty important, isn't it? So that, if we were ever going to create a message about fire prevention and fire education, hopefully that does it. And we appreciate your being attentive, paying attention, and thank you again for coming to the open house tonight. Download PulsePoint, make a difference, save a life. Thank you.